discovered a mysterious package in his mailbox. Confused, he brought it inside and opened it up. Inside the package was a single item, a videotape with no label or note to explain its contents. Curious to see what was on it, he put it in his camcorder and pressed play, and the footage he found on it was shocking to say the least. It contained a nearly hour-long video of a man describing the violent things he was about to do, how he was going to lure his victims, and the makeshift devices he was going to use.
I'm not trained in torture methods, which is what I'm gonna have to make do. I got my drill here. The reason why it's got this padding on it is just to try to silence it a bit because I'm in an apartment. I got gags, socks, got lots of duct tape. I got a soldering iron, sheets. It's rather crude implements. I think can work wonders, especially if it's used in the right way.
However, while the content itself was extremely grim, what disturbed Martin more was the fact that he personally knew the person on screen. This wasn't the manifesto of a serial killer planning to take innocent lives. Instead, it was the final message of Martin's close friend, Ricky Rodriguez, a man who was tormented by a cult from the moment he was born. He eventually managed to escape the cult and was now planning to take revenge on the people who did unspeakable things to him for all those years. He recorded this hour-long video and mailed it to his few friends and family so they would find it and have all the answers about what he was about to do and why.
I am making...
Can we blame him for his choices? I mean, yeah, we can. But think about it. If you young and you going through some stuff that you don't want to go through, they've basically made you adopt this way. You've been taken into a cult and you don't know what you in, and that's all you know. But you know for a fact that you don't like it and you want out, you know it's a better way. You decide to leave. You decide to leave. And what if you get backlash for leaving? Or what if they don't let you leave and you got to run away or something? There's cults out there that's like that. So I can't blame him, because if this is something that you didn't want to do yourself against your own will, I'm all about equal opportunity, brother. Fight for what you believe in. I don't agree with what you about to do or what you saying you're about to do, but they had you against your will, man. Exercise your right for freedom.
This video, well, for many reasons, I guess. I suppose the main reason is that I want there to be some record of the way I feel, my ideas, just who I was, really.
Ricky's story began 30 years earlier on January 25, 1975, when he was born as the first child of Karen Alva Zerby. Karen was a member of a cult called the Children of God, which used Christian language to lure in young, impressionable minds, often teenagers, and molded them to its sick and perverse ideals. 2 years after Ricky's birth, he was adopted by the cult's leader, David Burke, who presented himself as the Chosen One. David changed the cult's name to The Family and declared Ricky to be a religious herald, granting him a special position in the organization. However, while he was treated like royalty by the other members on the surface, behind closed doors, Ricky was the victim of vile acts no child should ever have to endure.
See?
David not only encouraged these acts, but went as far as to write a whole book about everything he and his followers did to Ricky, called The Story of DeVito. This abuse continued for many years, but as Ricky got older, he became aware of David's lies and manipulation. Then, in 1999, he finally managed to escape the cult with his girlfriend Alexia Manuel by faking a visit to the cult's compound in Mexico and fleeing to the US instead.
I guess in these smaller cities, smaller countries, I guess being in a cult is normal, right? Or you see it more. You see it more in different countries, smaller cities, or smaller towns. Most of the time, you're in a big city, you don't see cults, and you might see a cult, but it might be bigger than what you think, like the Illuminati or something like that. Like that might be considered a cult, but for this instance right here, man, this is messed up. And this dude right here is literally fleeing to America. They just said fleeing to America. Why is he fleeing to America? Because he's in a cult that he did not sign up for. He trying to get him and his girlfriend out. They were getting abused, SA, as a kid, going through so much that we have no clue about. So the chance that he got, the opportunity that he got, he said, okay, I'm going to use this to say that, you know, we're going to do a visit or whatever, and we're going to flee to America. Now, America, present day, I'm talking about now. America, if this is right now, America really don't care what you're going through, brother. They don't care about your life. They want you to come in the right way. So basically, they're going to be standing at the border of America telling you, hey, go back to that cult you was in. Keep getting SA. Keep getting abused. Keep doing something you don't want to do because we want you to come into this country the right way. I disagree with that. I strongly disagree with that. This man was born into a cult where he was getting abused. Got a chance to run. If it's me, nigga, come on over. I'm welcoming you with open arms. I don't care nothing about that, bro. Just find a job, work. Taxes, all that, I don't care about that, bro. Just work. Work. Do better for you and your girlfriend right now because y'all been through so much. I couldn't even imagine what y'all been through. So I would welcome y'all open arms, but we got some patriots that don't feel the same way. They would catch you at the gate, right on the border. Turn around, go back to your cult. Because they don't care. And that's why I say, like, sometimes it's bigger than you, and it's bigger than money. This situation, you gotta have a heart. You gotta be understanding. This is messed up, man. It's messed up.
Reintegration into society after 24 years in an isolated cult was anything but simple. But Ricky somehow managed to pull through and secure a job as an electrician. He also married Alexia and later moved to Tucson, Arizona due to his work.
Good.
Unfortunately, no matter how hard he tried to move forward, the nightmare he escaped continued to haunt him. David had passed away in 1994, and the cult was now under the supervision of Karen Zerby, Ricky's mother. And while the cult had managed to escape legal repercussions by mainly operating overseas, Ricky knew that there were still countless children suffering the same fate as him. So, in January of 2005, he decided enough was enough and took matters into his own hands. Which brings us back to the video he recorded and then mailed to a handful of close friends and his wife. In it, Ricky mentioned his ultimate goal, which was to bring down the cult all on his own. Beyond that, a part of this was also about getting revenge for everything that was done to him.
I think he's a
There's this
superhero.
need that I have. This need, it's not a want, it's a need, and I wish it wasn't, but it is. It's a need for revenge. It's a need for justice. Because I can't go on like this.
In this video, he also laid out his plan for accomplishing this goal. He'd apparently gotten in contact with his previous nanny, Angela Smith, who was among the group that tormented him during his time in the cult. He was going to invite
Angela, get your little hair done, like, girl. You can torment me a little bit. You feel me? No, I don't even play those games. Ain't no tormenting me. I ain't into none of that dominatrix BS. None of that BS. Hey, look. All I'm saying is, you got potential, shorty. You got potential, but you're doing it the wrong way. You touching on little kids, so I don't like you. I don't like you. Went from a cute woman to a demon. You a devil. Because you participating in occult activities.
her over for dinner at his apartment in Tucson and make her tell everything she knew about the other members' whereabouts by any means necessary. And that's exactly what he did. On January 8th, after mailing copies of his recording, he invited Angela into his home and proceeded with the plan. It's unclear what information he managed to extract from her before taking her life. He then got into his car and drove to Blythe, California. There, he rented a motel and called his wife to tell her about what he had done and what he was going to do next. However, despite the meticulous planning, Ricky ultimately couldn't follow through with the rest of his plan. On the morning of January 9th, authorities found his car in a parking lot just a few miles from the hotel he was staying at. Ricky was found inside the car as well, where he had taken his own life. And while this was tragic news for his loved ones, it was hardly surprising for his wife. You see, Ricky believed that killing the cultists would bring him peace, something he reiterated in his last video.
I can imagine how I would feel, how liberating it would be.
But that's not what happened. During his call with his wife, he confessed that despite his anger and resentment, killing Angela was the hardest thing he had ever done. Taking revenge didn't bring the comfort he was looking for. He couldn't bring himself to take any more lives and decided to end it all that night, leaving his friends and family with this hour-long video to remember him by. As for the family cult, it remains active to this day under the leadership of his mother.
Nigga, mama living foul. We
On
know what she
October
looked
4th,
like. Go get her.
2006, at approximately 6:15 a.m., the Barrie Police Department received a chilling call from a woman saying, "My children are dead," in a calm and quiet voice. The disconnect between her tone and the situation she was describing was extremely unsettling. When asked what happened, she replied, "I don't know, I don't remember." Police officers immediately rushed to the address she provided and knocked on the door of her apartment, bracing for what they might find. The door opened and they were greeted by 31-year-old Francis Elaine Campione. When the officers asked her about the children she mentioned on her call, she replied in the same disturbingly calm voice, stating, "Yes, they're dead. They're on my bed." As the officers entered the master bedroom, he saw the remains of two little girls, 3-year-old Serena and 19-month-old Sophia, lying on the bed. Both were dressed in clean clothes and were also wearing necklaces and earrings. However, their skin was starting to turn blue, suggesting they might have been deceased for quite some time. One of the officers also noticed a small bruise on Sophia's forehead, and that was it. There was nothing else in the room that could have explained their deaths. But as the investigators looked through Elaine's apartment, they found a camcorder with footage that explained everything. The recording started on a wholesome note, showing Elaine surprising Serena with a new bike on her 3rd birthday on August 8th.
Hi Serena, it's August 8th, 2006. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday Serena, happy birthday to you. Serena's 3 today, yay! Shall we go to the living room and see if you've got any birthday presents from the birthday fairies?
Yes!
Okay, let's go.
I have to go.
What is it?
It's a bike.
The next video also showed Elaine and her 2 daughters just hanging around and having fun.
I love you.
This much.
Oh, I love you more than that.
So far, everything looked quite normal. However, the 3rd recording, dated October 2nd, was when things started to get weird. The tone of the recordings instantly changed as Elaine suddenly went on and on about their horrible living conditions and the torment her ex-husband Leo and his family had put her through, said all in front of her children.
You can't see through the camera, boo-boo. Oh, yes, this is a deplorable, horrible, messy, filthy apartment that supposedly my 2 children and I live in, and it's just a horrible, horrible mess. Yeah. I think Diego Campione is totally in the wrong, and I hope he burns in hell for all his sins. The same as Leonardo. All I wanted to do was take care of my 2 little girls and live happily ever after the 3 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse that I endured tremendously by Leonardo Campione, and then the past year from Anna and Diego Campione, the mental and emotional abuse, which wouldn't stop, and I had CAS keep bringing these 2 people into my life over and over again when I kept telling them the amount of mental and emotional abuse it was causing my 3-year-old daughter Serena and I and Sophia.
It's so important, so imperative to watch who you have kids with. Obviously, she's not mentally stable. And I get it. She's probably going through so much dealing with, the kids and being a single parent. Being a single mother is I'm sure really, really hard. I get it. It's be stressful days. But as a man, you need to make sure that if you're gonna have a kid with a woman that's strong enough to handle those dark days. Because right now those kids are in her hands. They send over help. They send people to her house because they send it basically those are unfit living conditions, which it looks nice there. It looks beautiful. But they keep sending people to your house, and all you want to do is complain about your ex, and I'm assuming that's his parents. That's your motive. You want to complain about them rather than trying to get help. Shorty, you need to get help. You want to talk about mental and physical abuse. Well, you live there alone with them, with the kids. So you're no longer getting physically abused. Now, it might be a little bit of mental abuse by phone calls and phone conversations, but you're not physically getting abused. You're not. So just get a little bit of help. They sending the people over to your house. Now, they might be there to pick up the kids. We don't know. But if they are, right now, the kids are way more safer with them than with you. This is sick. You got to be careful who you having a kid with.
It was horrible and uncalled for. And I want justice to my family for what they have all done to us. I cried out for help. They should have.
Leo was apparently extremely abusive, both physically and mentally. He prevented her from contacting her parents and at one point even kicked her in her stomach while she was pregnant. This resulted in Leo getting charged with domestic violence and the two getting divorced. However, at the time of this recording, Leo was starting to turn things around and was engaged in a legal battle with Elaine over the custody of their daughters. This took an immense toll on Elaine's mental health. She was already quite unstable and had been to the psych ward twice in the past couple of years. But according to her mother, the custody battle caused her to lose it completely and develop severe paranoia. She became worried that Leo would one day show up and forcibly take her daughters away. Then, on October 2nd, after ending this recording at 8:39 p.m., Elaine did the unthinkable by taking the lives of her own daughters, then recording a haunting confession that investigators discovered on the same camera.
Recording this because Leo and there, are you happy? Everything's gone. You wouldn't give peace. You wouldn't tell the truth. I begged. You even had Stacy not believing me, telling her I had to sign papers when I didn't. I went to victim witness to get the truth. Trying, begging everyone.
Man, shut up. Shut up. I don't care nothing about your tears. The man did not live with you. He did not live with you. I don't care what type of battles you going through mentally. That don't give you grounds to off your kids. You laid down and had those kids, so it's up to you to protect those kids with everything in your body, within your life, within your soul, within your power. It's your job. You're obligated to protect your kids. But I guess it's hard to protect your kids when you're trying to protect them from yourself, huh? If she already been to the psych ward 2 times, why didn't the state come take these kids? Unfit. The dude was right. He should have had the kids, not you. Mental illness is a real thing. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I used to struggle with believing that. I used to not think that that was a real thing. But it is. Excuse me. Depression, all that. I used to think that that wasn't real. But once you start having mental problems and you get in your own head, it's hard to get out. It's real. It's real. So I understand, Shorty, you probably was going through a lot, but when they put you in the psych ward the first time, you should have sat back and said, okay, maybe I need to get these kids up to the baby father. But you was being selfish because you wanted to hold on to them. You wanted to hold on to the kids. You wanted them all to yourself for your own personal selfish reasons. And what you going to say? Yeah, the father was abusive. Well, guess what? You're a killer. You're a killer. I'd much rather for these kids to be getting whoopings than than in the grave right now. And now look at this, look, ugly face, making this face right here. No, we don't feel sorry for you. Ain't nobody gonna cry with you. If anything, we should punch you right here in this big old forehead. Just ugly, ugly. And I don't like talking about people, but yes, you are ugly because you shouldn't have done what you've done to your kids. You brought those kids into this life. It wasn't your decision to take them out. Just because you brought them in, it's not your decision to take them out. Two beautiful girls, man.
How you beat me 3 years behind closed doors, beat me when I was pregnant with Serena and Sophia.
It's all personal.
You care about our babies, you care about me, you care about yourself. You wanted to win, you won. Are you happy? How does it make you feel?
How it make you feel? You think you won? That's not how you win.
How does it make you feel? Because it doesn't make me feel great.
Shut up.
I've lost everything my whole life.
You took everything.
At this point, the camera cut to a later point where Elaine attempted to take her own.
I tried to overdose.
Oh, you documenting everything.
They're changing the displays. Now is the time to make a great deal on an Ontario-made hydro-cooled hot tub. In stock models, floor model, or custom orders, everything has a sale price. Cool Spa Sauna Showroom, making waves. In Aurelia, Grace Ridge and soon to be in Huntsville. You can also check them out on the web at coolspashowroom.com.
Elaine was arrested on the spot and was later charged with murder, with the found footage in her home serving as crucial evidence against her. She was ultimately sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Why do you get the possibility of parole after 25 years? She took not one little girl life, she took 2 little girls' lives. She took both of her daughter's lives and she get a possibility of parole? She don't deserve it. She don't deserve it. She took their life for selfish reasons because she couldn't handle it. Because she was too busy worried about her own selfish reasons. Yeah, he probably beat you. He probably did. And I understand that's tough. Like, that's something completely different. Keep that away from these kids. It's your job to raise these kids, not to take them out. I don't feel sorry for you, shorty. If anything, I'm more mad now. She deserved life with no parole. You took 2 little kids' life. 2 beautiful little girls. Tell you, dog. Sometimes I think our justice system fails us. They should have took her out back, lined her up against the wall. They should have loaded everybody up with switches and sticks. Firing squad. It's only right. She took 2 little girls' lives. I ain't trying to hear it. Y'all be cool how y'all be cool, man. Be smooth how you be smooth.